And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Brand new week, Monday, and the first Monday in the month of October already. October 3rd, the date. Later on, we'll have open phones for you all next hour. And at 11 o'clock on Focus, we will focus on Auburn and the Auburn Outreach. But for at least part of this hour, we're going to find out about something expanding in our area, and that's the STARS transportation system. And to do that, we say good morning to the man who runs it all. We say good morning to Glenn Steffens. Good morning, Glenn.
Hey, good morning, Art.
You've been in the news lately a couple of times. One for fares returning, which we'll talk about, but also an expansion of service that has to do with employment opportunities. So let's start there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Tweaked our existing bus routes as we're making some changes. You mentioned we're bringing fares back, so we're doing a few things this month and slamming them all together in a short time. And the things we're probably the most excited about on this route system is job access out to the Amazon and FedEx facilities, job access out to Next Year, the Gratiot Center area, and a few other places as well. So those are places we didn't necessarily reach with those fixed route buses before. And, you know, we've been hearing the community, hearing businesses, people need workers, people need jobs, and transportation is usually one of those kind of pain points in reaching that.
And it's not new for you to provide jobs transportation, is it? I mean, you already have a couple of sites that you go to.
Yeah, yep, that's true. We currently go out to the steel mills out in Pigeon, Michigan. There's Blue Diamond Steel here on Castings, and we've worked with other partners in the past before. So it's nothing brand new, but still, you know, every time you take another step, it's a little exciting.
And some of those, I mean, you go out to Pigeon, that's 7 days a week and 3 shifts a day. You're running a lot of buses out there, aren't you?
Yeah, it's something I think around 100,000 workers a week. Even after the pandemic's kicked in, that's one of our busiest lines. Actually, it's 60 miles each way, and it works great for workers because, you know, that's a lot of gas money, and right now that's not cheap. And
yeah,
60 miles back and forth, the wear and tear on your car. And, you know, those workers are doing it, I think, somewhere around the tune of, they have a discount through their employer for that line. But we charge general public $7 each way, which when you think about all those costs, it's not really that high.
So if there are employers out there that might think that they could benefit from having a route to their business, what do they need to do?
Oh, they need to give me a call. And we need to talk about setting up a partnership because we've got opportunity right now. We're in the midst of kind of growing out of that pandemic hole that we've been kind of trapped in, and taking our steps back out, you know, into the sunlight. And as we do that, that's when the time is to start striking these plans. And you know, we've got a couple companies that we've talked to this year. I don't want to mention any names and put anybody on the spot, but we're always kind of working toward, you know, onto these lines, to add into these lines in a way that businesses and residents can benefit the most.
So let's talk about equipment for a minute, because we don't do that very often. During the pandemic, there seemed to be a lot of talk about money coming forth for new buses and things of that nature. Have you benefited from that? And what's your fleet look like right now?
Yep. So through the pandemic, there's been a few key pieces of legislation that's kept STARS going, especially when it comes to capital. And one was CARES. Another one was ARP setups, and STARS did get funding under both of those. Then there was the Built Infrastructure law under, I can't remember exactly what's called, the BIL, the infrastructure package under the Biden administration. So we saw a temporary increase in our funding from that too. So those have helped us keep afloat, not necessarily like grow leaps and bounds right now because the prices are going up just as high as the additional funding did. Yeah. So at best we're breaking even and having to get very creative with how we use the limited resources we have. Probably the biggest challenge is I've got a huge chunk of my fleet that's down, and we can't even get parts to get these things back on the road. So that's the most frustrating part, and that's what's keeping us right now from getting past the normal, actually I should say the reduced service hours we're on now. We need to get back to, the 9-10 p.m. and get Saturday service back. And, we're just having to kind of be patient until the market gets out of this little funk and we start seeing those parts flow again.
And we should point out, a lot of your fleet was pre-owned before you got it, if not all of it.
Yeah. Good news on that point. I'm glad you brought that up too. By the end of the year, we've got at least one deal with a bus producer, Gillig. They're out of California, a very big bus manufacturer. And we've got 8 vehicles on order from them. And I hear that they're going to be on time. We do have some buses on order from some other vendors. I've been waiting over a year for some of these bus deliveries to come through. But we are on track at least to finally get in Saginaw some brand new purchased buses, not used, not coming over from another agency. And it's been over a decade since Stars has had those. So I'm really happy about that because Saginaw does deserve better when it comes to that.
What size, when you go out and put these orders in, what size coaches are you looking at?
35 foot is the size of bus we use in the city. Mm-hmm. A lot of buses come in 40 foot.
Right.
And that small difference, unfortunately, makes a big impact on driving in Saginaw. Our roads were not necessarily designed in the city for long vehicles. So I borrowed, I didn't borrow, we traded a few buses back and forth with Flint some years ago, and I had gotten 340. It's one of those like kind of trial by fire and you fail. You get these buses in and we start driving them down some of the routes, and the bus drivers are contacting us saying we literally cannot make this turn with this long bus. And I actually got a bus stuck once in one of the intersections in the Tittabawassee corridor. So we learned really quick, all right, you know what, going forward, as cool as 40-foot buses might be and more seating and all that, we just got to stick with the smaller 35-footers.
I fully understand that because I drove 45-footers. And I wouldn't want to tool them around some of the city streets, that's for sure. That is for sure. As a matter of fact, I cut my teeth on 35-footers back in New Jersey, way back in the 60s. Fishbowls. I don't know. You're probably too young to remember the fishbowl bus, but it was a GM bus and straight cut gears, no power steering, and in and out of the Port Authority building in New York. That's how I learned to drive.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they've got power steering and they're a lot more.
Automatics too.
A lot less challenging to drive these days than they were back then, for sure.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Glenn, I got to take a break. Hang on. We'll come back and talk a little more about Stars with Glenn Steffens, and we will return.
The Home Builders Association of Saginaw, along with Carter Lumber, invites you to the Fall Parade of Homes, Saturday and Sunday, October 1st, 2nd, 8th, and 9th, 1 to 5 p.m., and Wednesday, October 5th, 5 to 8 p.m. The Parade of Homes is your opportunity to view beautiful homes and talk with local builders about your plans of building or purchasing your new home. Visit SaginawParadeOfHomes.com for tour information and your chance to register in our prize drawing. That's SaginawParadeOfHomes.com.
Is there anything better than just sitting outdoors enjoying nature? Well, I guess this chair could be a recliner. That'd be better. But there definitely wouldn't be anything. Yes, of course, the recliner had one of those fancy built-in massagey things. Oh, and a bacon skillet.
There's always a better way to do things. With triple stacked Enlist E3 varieties for proven performance, Zetavo soybean seed is seed done right. Zetavo from MS Technologies is distributed exclusively by BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employees ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street beginning the fourth quarter on a bearish note. Lingering worries over higher borrowing costs needed to combat higher inflation, making investors nervous. Dow futures are up 0.4, S&P futures up 0.1, NASDAQ futures down 0.3. Consolidated Edison's agreed to sell its renewable energy business to the German energy company RWE AG for $6.8 billion. The deal announced Saturday. This nearly doubles RWE's energy portfolio in the U.S. and makes it the second largest solar operator in the nation. Con Ed supplies electric and gas to nearly 10 New York. And entertainment company Fandom Inc. has acquired the digital assets of TV Guide and others from media company Red Ventures LLC. Fandom runs an online forum for consumers of pop culture with user-generated content like video games, movies, comic books. The all-cash transaction reportedly cost around $55 million. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Karen McHugh, invested in you.
Businesses don't run on automation or algorithms alone. What powers businesses are your people and the people they serve. At Cintas, your dedicated service reps understand what you need to help you keep your employees feeling safe, comfortable, and performing. Business can too. For workwear, essential cleaning products, first aid and safety supplies, and fire protection services, visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we cutting-edge approaches. Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's Last Frontier, Alaska, September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for a start of a adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the inside passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. To find out more, plan on attending a Zoom meeting with Collette Vacations Ed McKenna p.m. Send me an email to receive the Zoom link. Send your request to artlewis@wsgw.com. If you can't make the Zoom meeting, send your address and I'll forward a brochure to you. Send now to artlewis@wsgw.com. Alaska is calling. All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, talking to Glenn Steffens from STARS. So, Glenn, let's talk about fares, because for a long time during COVID, it didn't cost anything to ride STARS, but you have to reinstate at some point in time, and that time's come, hasn't it?
Yes, unfortunately so. And I actually really enjoyed the fact that we did run fare free there for a while, almost, just over 2.5 years. That we haven't had to collect general public fares on either our paratransit dial ride or our fixed routes. But you're right, it's, unfortunately it is time to bring them back, but we are taking some measures to lessen the sting on our riders.
How's that going to happen?
First things is that we're cutting our fares by 1/3. So before the pandemic, it was $1.50 each way on our mainline buses. And unlike anything else, the price of this, we're actually reducing it to $1. And the Lyft rides used to cost $2.75, and those will be reduced to $2, and that's starting today.
And are there, like monthly passes available and things of that nature?
Yes, there will be. So like everything in the world right now, we're hitting delays and snags on some things, and this is very complicated to roll out. So right now the plan is, it looks like this week we'll probably just be accepting cash on our buses. And we do have the old cash fare boxes. People can drop them in. They don't have to exchange hands or anything. And as this week proceeds, we're putting the finishing touches on a new phone application as well as a smart card system. And those cards and accounts, especially I would really suggest people, when we get it going, to check out the Android and Apple apps on phones. You can load up these accounts with bus passes and just scan them when you enter the bus. So that's a completely touchless form of payment as well. So there'll be 30-day passes, multi-packs of passes for the Lyft service as well. That's that dial-a-ride curb-to-curb service. And also, once we have the app going, we're also pushing a promotion for the first month. People can buy some of these passes for half off of the new price. So the monthly pass, the 30-day pass for fixed route is priced out at $40. And once we get that app on there, people can go onto the app and purchase that for half off for only $20 for the first month. And the reason we're taking all these steps and, lowering it by 1/3 and then 50% off of that cut price in the first month is we know it's tough to get back on the horse when it comes to an additional expense coming in. People budgets for the past 2 years. We have inflation kicking up. Gas prices are up. Their taxes on goods are going up from sales tax from the increased prices. Then there's increased prices too. So to ask, $60 a month right starting cold is going to be tough for some households to jump on. So we're trying this to kind of stagger in that pain point of a cost returning back to people's lives. So we've heard, a lot of from the public saying, this is going to be tough for me bringing this back, and I'm really sympathetic and understand. So that's why we're trying to take all these measures to.
Is there a rollout date for all of this?
Well, we originally had a rollout date of September 1 for all of this, and in early August we could tell it wasn't going to happen in time. My hope currently is that by next Monday we can have all this pushed. Maybe I can get you guys some information again, or even pop in and say hi and let you know it's rolling and ready to go.
Sure.
So yeah, this week though, like I said, it's cash, and then next week we're going to jump up to the tech. So many moving parts, but we're doing it.
What about requirements for masks and things of that? Has that changed, gone away now?
Oh, it's been a while since we've talked, huh?
Yeah.
I think we were still requiring them last time we talked. We had ended that early at the beginning of this year and rescinded that requirement after the feds had lifted that. If you recall, we were under a federal guidance,
right?
Just like airports and everybody else. So when the rules stopped for airports and everyone else, stars, we kind of stood back and we waited a week or two. We watched, just to see, like, are there going to be any outbreaks or anything? And when there weren't, we said, okay, this looks like it's the time. And so that's helped too, because we're not face masks.
Well, let's talk about city routes and bus routes for a minute, because I know you're always analyzing them. You're looking at them. You're trying to modify them to make sense. Is it fairly stable right now?
Yeah. The changes to the bus routes are mainly like the order of operation some of the routes go in, so that they can connect better at different parts of the city. If you had a bus stop somewhere near your house, even if it's a different route that we moved through there, that bus stop, 90% of them plus are staying the same. You just might see another number go up on the sign. And the reason for that, into the next year Amazon areas, and also having 3 of our routes, the routes 5, routes 8 and routes 4 all connect at the same time at the old Tri-City Plaza, the old closed Kroger on Dixie Highway there, on the way to Bridgeport. So that's a nice connection, because then these two residential routes, routes 4 and 8, can connect to the Route 5 there and head straight down to Kroger and Bridgeport instead of having to connect through the station. So that's one of our things, was we were trying to look at how do we minimize people having to come all the way downtown. So there's several things in these different routes that we haven't kind of linked up at the ends with each other, or complement each other and come back the other one's way. Again, minimizing the need for people to jump over to a different bus, and that can cut somebody's commute time from like 60 minutes down to 15 or 20.
Let me
another big.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up.
I was going to say another big change we have is how people get out to SVSU. We've managed to make some changes and only add in about 5 more minutes, and it does involve a transfer. So we don't necessarily have a bus anymore going straight from downtown out to SVSU. It goes out to Walmart and Koshville there, and that Walmart bus connects to a loop that's running every 30 minutes between SVSU, Meyer, Target, and kind of that area up there. And that little loop, it doesn't return downtown. So if you're going out to SVSU to connect with Bay Metro on their Route 4, you simply take our Route 6 out to Walmart, hop on the transfer bus to SVSU, and you're there in just about the same amount of time. And that saves us. It will save us almost $500,000 a year by running it that way instead.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, but that's a perfect lead into my next question. It's kind of a pie in the sky thing because we've heard a lot of discussion about it, but over the years, there's been talk about some kind of a regional loop. Right now, if you're in Midland, for example, and you want to come to Saginaw, it'll take you hours. And there's been some talk of trying to come together and have a route that covers Saginaw Bay, Midland. Any progress on that, or any thoughts on whether it will ever happen?
Yeah, we've been in talks with those other transit agencies. There's 2 Midland transits, one for the county and one for the city. And we all of us directors, we kind of meet quarterly anyway and connect to see, what's up and everything. But that word, regionalism, and either people are talking about, like you are, in this form of a route. Sometimes it's about transferability between the systems. Or sometimes it's been, is there some type of application that you can use on your phone to schedule trips and connect all the agencies? So we're always looking at that, saying, what makes sense? What could we do? And of course, the first question you got to have answered before even running on the pie in the sky thoughts is there a need, right? And if there's a need, how do you make the service meet the need? Because the last thing you want to do is roll out a service and have an empty bus.
Yeah, that's true. It's expensive to run. And last question, fuel prices. What's that doing to your budget?
Oh, it's slaughtering it. it's absolutely decimated it. I think through the first half of the year, we had already blown our anticipated amount on fuel. It basically, the cost effectively doubled for us. And in addition to that, all the bus manufacturers had been calling us this summer, letting us know of the massive price increases on those. So we were hit, unfortunately, from both sides. At the same time, we're dealing with every other increased cost that outside the agency too.
You buy in bulk? Do you have a contract price when you buy?
Yes. So, we do have some advantages. We don't, as a government authority, we don't necessarily pay fuel tax, the state fuel tax, I should say, or sales tax on that. So, it doesn't sting as much as for consumers at the pump, but nonetheless, we're purchasing, I'd say in an average month before the pandemic, we would spend around $25,000 a month in fuel. And right now I've seen my bills come in anywhere from $37,000 to $45,000.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's a big hit. And as wages have increased and everything else, and these other things, the thing that's carried us through, Art, is those CARES Act dollars and those ARPA dollars, and unfortunately, those are starting to dry up, not just for us but other transits.
Yeah.
And this is statewide. This is a statewide problem. STARS is on a $10 million a year budget, But you've got many agencies around the state that are on a $1 million, around that dollars a year budget. And when they have a hit, an addition in cost, they don't have the cushion that us larger agencies do. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of putting up the alarm bells and saying, you know, we do have about 3-4 years to figure out a real funding crisis that's happening in transit statewide right now. And we've got an election, so I've been telling people, you know, ask those candidates, you know, where do they stand on transit and do they support it? Because right now we need it more than ever.
And do you have a millage coming up?
No, fortunately,
yeah, that's what
we had a millage passed just before like a week before the pandemic hit, I believe. We had a millage vote. So at least we've got that nailed down for several years.
Good. All right. Well, listen, we thank you for your time this morning, Glenn, as always, and we'll keep in touch.
All right. Thank you much, Art, and look forward to hearing from you again.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye. Glenn Steffens, Director of STARS, the Saginaw Transit Regional Authority, and we thank him for spending some time with us and talking about the changes coming up to the system. Open phones for the remainder of the hour and right through next hour here on the Art Lewis Show. So 989-752-6111, the number to call.
Welcome to a Johnny Mathis Christmas. Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? Saturday, December 3rd at Soaring Eagle Casino. Johnny Mathis. Come on, it's lovely. Classics and his timeless hits. Chances are. Tickets for the Johnny Mathis Christmas concert start at $44 and are on sale now at the box office or etix.com. Johnny Mathis performing his legendary pop hits. It's wonderful, wonderful. And unforgettable holiday classics. It's the most wonderful time. Johnny Mathis with a full orchestra, December 3rd at Soaring Eagle Casino. I get misty the moment you're near. Spend part of your holidays with a legend. Tickets for a Johnny Mathis Christmas start at $44. Johnny Mathis, Saturday, December 3rd at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier and empower your retirement. They talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I get those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, the Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
And Doug. Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I've got a special message for all who love to bake, especially baking with Pioneer Sugar. In celebration of the inaugural National Real Sugar Day on Friday, October 14th, Michigan Sugar Company, the Maytag store in Saginaw, and WSGW are hosting the Sweet Treat Bake-Off. It's a baking competition challenging participants to create a sweet treat using some type of Pioneer sugar. Now, the Sweet Treat Bake-Off will start at 9 a.m. on Friday, October 14th at the Maytag store on Tittabawassee Road in Saginaw. You'll make your sweet treat, and judging will begin at noon. Listeners are invited to stop by and watch the bakers battle, just like the old days. Winners will receive Meijer gift cards, $150 for first, $100 for second, and $50 for third. And if you'd like a chance to be selected as a baker, please submit your recipe along with your name, address, phone number, and email to thehenne@wsgw.com. It's all one word, THENE@wsgw.com. Remember, your recipe must include Pioneer sugar. Deadline to enter is October 10th. The Sweet Treat Bake-Off with Michigan Sugar Company, the Maytag store in Saginaw, and WSGW. You can find out more information online at wsgw.com.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and open phones now for the remainder of the program up till 11 o'clock. And our number is 989-752-6111. If you haven't noticed, gasoline bumped up again, and it's probably going to happen again because the price of a barrel of oil went up a couple of bucks. But AAA says the average price for a gallon of gasoline is now $4.17 a gallon in Michigan, up nearly 23 cents from just a week ago. $4.20 in Detroit, $4.26 in Marquette. And the least expensive gas, Traverse City at $4.03, Benton Harbor at $4.13, Grand Rapids at $4.14. I've seen $4.12 around here too. So, whether that lasts today or not, I don't know. But at least this weekend, I saw $4.12 in a number of places. And, for all the talk, we're going to reduce the price of gasoline. We're going to do all that. Nothing's happened. It just continues to be a source of pain at the pump, so to speak. Speaking of pain, the Detroit Lions. Detroit. I just want to get it off my chest. I did happen to see part of that game yesterday, and as a matter of fact, we were sitting at the Dow waiting for the start of the hockey game, and we had the Lions game on the big screen, and they got so close. I mean, it actually looked like, well, maybe there's a chance, and they got within 3 points a couple of times, but not to be. They wasted, and Mitch Albom said it best. Mitch Albom, in the headline from the Detroit Free Press today, Mitch Albom, Detroit Lions find a way to waste great offense and maybe promising season. Well, the only good news is that it's early in the season. The bad news is they've still got to play this whole season, and their defense got to get tightened up, to say the least. But it was so promising. It's a lesson in how don't judge a team by what it does on paper. Same thing can be said about the Tigers. You looked at the Tigers lineup at the beginning of the year and you say, wow, this is a pretty healthy lineup. They've got a pretty good chance here. And then the end of the season, although I'll tell you what, they've had spurts of greatness this last couple of weeks. Where has that been all year? But here they are. They almost lost 100 games again this year. So Can't judge them by paper, that's for sure. All right, to the phones. Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. Art, on the National Desk TV news show Friday morning reported that the Democratic-controlled Congress repealed a $5 billion relief fund to black farmers in the U.S., and they gave $100 billion in foreign aid to Ukrainian farmers instead. And foreign countries like China are buying up a lot of this, some of this foreclosed farmland here in America, and it doesn't seem like it's right to me. What do you think?
Come time for election day, you know what to do. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. You know, that's right. The absolute bottom line. China buying up U.S. land, though, that's been a problem, and that's a problem we have to look at. We have to resolve that. China's got way too much influence over our economy in terms of what they produce and what we need, and what they own. I think it's something that I don't care what administration it is, they have to take a look at it. Got to come to terms with it.
Well, China bought up Saginaw steering gear there from Tom Goris so he could buy the pistons. So that should have been looked at too.
Well, it was legal.
It was. It was legal. There was no doubt about it. So, okie doke. Well, that's all I got.
All right. Good enough. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Okay. Later. Bye.
Yep. Caller called and wondered about the United States receiving a request from Cuba for hurricane assistance and aid. An interesting question. I hadn't heard it. And I guess I have a couple of thoughts on it. First of all, I have said for years, not just recently, but for years and years and years, that I disagreed with the way we handle Cuba. That sanctions against Cuba have done nothing over 50 years or 60 years to change that country. And really, it's only hurt the people of Cuba. It certainly hadn't hurt the leaders. I believe that the U.S. should open business relations with Cuba and benefit from it, because they would need all of the construction, all of the types of services that the United States can offer. I think it would be a benefit to the United States to open relations with Cuba. And in terms of aid to Cuba, we've given aid to other countries that we don't necessarily agree with. Is it the humanitarian thing to do? Is it the right thing to do? Or could somebody else do it? I don't have the answer to that question. Those are the questions I would ask, but I don't have the answers. But in terms of Cuba and normalizing relationships, our sanctions, unilateral sanctions, just don't work. First of all, there's too many ways around it. Go through Canada. Go through South American countries. You can get to Cuba. You can do business with Cuba. People do it all the time. So our unilateral sanctions really have done nothing. Nothing at all. I think we would profit and benefit from having a more normal relation with Cuba. My personal opinion. We got to take a quick break. I'm late here. Just looked at the clock, and we'll be right back.
Some politicians drive me nuts. It's like the rules just don't apply to them.
Uh-oh, what now?
It's that Kristen McDonald rivet.
Is she one of those politicians who just spends and spends, making inflation worse?
Yes, but it's even worse with rivet. She voted herself a pay raise on her taxpayer-funded salary.
Unbelievable.
And she was hiking her own pay while raising rates and fees for people like us.
We already can't pay our bills, and she's just making it worse. Only politicians like Kristen McDonald Rivet. that.
Worst part is, now she wants a promotion. She's running for state senate. Imagine what kind of damage she'd do if we send her to Lansing.
I'd never vote for a politician like Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Higher prices for us, higher salary for her. Say no to Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Paid for with regulated funds by the Senate Republican Campaign Committee. Authorized by Annette Glenn for state senate.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clip and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. Speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel, évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
All right, back with you, and Scott is in Saginaw, so let's say good morning to Scott. Morning, Scott.
Hello, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Didn't hear you.
I'll start in on this. We've already been over the California bill, SB 145, that gives the judge total discretion over a 24-year-old man having sex with a 14-year-old boy if they want to charge the adult male as a pedophile, as a sex offender, or as incest. So it gives the judge discretion to do that. Now with the Democratic Party, they say we no longer want to use the word pedophile because it puts, and their example was, how can you be mad at a 30-year-old man who loves a 5-year-old boy? If a man loves a woman, you're not mad at that.
No, that's not true. If a man loves a 14-year-old girl and has sex, it's a crime.
Exactly. Well, they want to change the word pedophile now, and they want to call these people
Yeah,
M-A-Y-P. Males attracted to young persons.
Yeah.
Party.
They're just.
Well, hey, this is what they're doing.
I understand that. I just shake my head.
And then on top of it, we have the FBI under this administration turning resources from child sex. January 6th investigation. So to hell with the children. Let's lock Trump up and any Republican. And that's what these people are doing. They're allowing all these children to come across the border. Some of them are going to be trafficked. We know this. And they're doing nothing. This is the Democratic Party, Art.
All right.
The party of, well, they're not. They're not the party from the 60s. That character.
Well, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that.
They're foul. But off all that, I went to the home opener the other day. I liked the team. They looked great.
Yeah. Yep. Saturday was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I like that. Yeah, a couple good-looking team. All right, I'll
All
let
right,
you go.
Scott, we'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye now. And we'll be back to close out this hour.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County Road Commissioner. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know working people in Bay County have always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. I'm a proud union member, business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do it. Hilliker, paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-66. Advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
It's time to play the WSGW Football Bucks Blitz, the contest presented by Ben and RoofMax. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $2,000 by entering this football word online at WSGW.com. Word this hour is safety. It's a safety, S-A-F-E-T-Y. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. The Football Bucks Blitz contest presented by Ben and RoofMax on WSGW. All right, that'll do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. And we thank you for being with us. We thank Glenn Steffen for joining us. Next hour will be open phones for you for the entire hour. So whatever you have on your mind you'd like to chat about, we'd love to hear from you. That'll happen after the news. The news from CBS is next, and then the local report. I'll be back right after that with more on the Art Lewis Show.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Reality is setting in for Floridians whose homes were swamped by Hurricane Ian, among them Betty Reynolds, who lives on hard-hit Sanibel Island.
It came up about 4 feet in the house. So I've been living upstairs.
Correspondent Chris Van Cleve is in Sarasota.
Some neighbors here told us they're not even sure if it's worth trying to rebuild. Firefighters couldn't get out here because it was so dangerous. And we talked to many residents on this block who thought they could ride out the storm at home, only to find themselves literally running for their lives to escape Ian's storm surge.
At least 86 people were killed in the hurricane. President Biden will survey the damage in Florida Wednesday. To date, he'll be in Puerto Rico, offering support after Hurricane Fiona. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The trip will have the president to pack food and other supplies, attending a briefing on the response and announcing that $60 million will go to help shore up the island's levees, strengthen flood walls, and develop a new flood warning system. The funds will come from the bipartisan infrastructure law the president signed last year.
The president defending a prisoner swap with Venezuela that freed 7 Americans and 2 convicted South American drug smugglers with ties to dictator Nicolas Maduro. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
President Biden said this is part of his, quote, administration's unflinching commitment to keep faith with Americans held hostage and wrongfully detained around the world.
A police chief in Indonesia lost his job today after a stampede at a soccer game that killed at least 125 people, including 32 children. Correspondent Vicky Barker is at the foreign desk.
Soccer's world governing body, FIFA, says this never should have happened. Police firing tear gas at fans who'd stormed the field, sparking a stampede at the stadium as thousands of coughing, choking spectators all rushed to the exits at once.
The Supreme Court has just begun a new term by declining to hear a challenge to a federal vaccine mandate for healthcare workers. Ketanji Brown Jackson is now the first Black woman on the bench. A reality TV star will pony up for violating SEC law.
I do understand why people were upset.
Kim Kardashian has agreed to pay $1.26 million for failing to disclose a $250,000 fee she received for promoting cryptocurrency on her Instagram account. She's banned from Emacs or any other token for 3 years. In a statement, Kardashian says she's cooperated with the investigation from the beginning and hopes to move forward with all of her other business pursuits. This is CBS News.
You need to hire? Indeed is with you every step of the way, helping you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. /credit.
Have you heard the news? This is Mike from Westside Decorating Center. We've expanded our showroom. I'm excited to announce that we now have designer area rugs in stock. Stop in today to look at the samples in our spacious new showroom. We have designers on staff to help with your flooring and window treatment projects. We can also help get your exterior paint and stain projects completed before it's too late. Fall paint promotions are now on our website, westsidedecoratingcenter.com, or visit us at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
RocketGrabPlus.com. The Vino Wine Warehouse is changing their name to Coven. And with that being said, this week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Coven. You are going to get a $20 gift certificate for their winter festival for only $10. Has over 1,000 retail wine items, 16 draft craft beers, and a full liquor section. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Meet Boost, the fizzing amazing vitamin boosts that make you feel like
I like to boost it, my vitamins can boost it. I like to boost it, we like to boost it.
Boost effervescent vitamins turn your H2O into H2O to give you a fizztastic feeling like
I like to boost it, my vitamins can boost it. I like to boost it, we like to boost it.
Because it's not Boost, the fizzing amazing vitamin boost.
Boost it.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 51 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Jonathan Dent. Jury selection begins in Jackson County today for 3 men facing state charges related to the plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer 2 years ago. Joe Morrison, Pete Musico, and Paul Bellar are charged with providing material support for terrorist gang membership and felony firearm charges. Defense attorneys say the charges are exaggerated and the men weren't involved in the group that when the plot was moving forward in 2020. The 3 men were among 14 arrested. Federal prosecutors focused on 6 people who were considered to be key players, while the others faced state charges in Jackson and Antrim counties. The 2 leaders of the group were convicted on federal charges in August. Holiday shoppers may have some disappointments this season. Not only may some products be in short supply, but customer service may be lacking as well. Business editor Murray Feldman reports.
Retailers are expected to hire an estimated 680,000 workers this holiday season. 100,000 last year, according to the outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas. Walmart, Amazon, Michael's stores all have already announced hiring plans, and they're lower than last year. Other retailers are expected to follow suit. Analysts think either retailers expect a drop in sales this year because interest rates and inflation are taking a grip on households, or they believe they're already fully staffed. If the retailers are missing the mark, though, it's possible consumers will face a drop in customer service. I'm Murray Feldman, the Michigan News Network.
The Saginaw Children's Zoo is getting some sculptures from the Grand Rapids Art Prize. The interactive sculptures will be unveiled today at the zoo at 1:00 p.m. on hand to answer questions. The sculpture has been donated by Mike and Sarah Jury. Light refreshments will be provided at the event. WSGW News Time is 10:07.
You can't be in farming without taking risks. That's common knowledge. But that doesn't mean you should throw caution to the wind. And when it comes to new technology, farmers always look before they leap. And for the past 3 years, farmers have looked at the Enlist weed control system, and they have leapt. Now it's your turn. Millions and millions of acres have proven the effectiveness of Enlist herbicide's superior technology with neighbor-friendly weed control, more tank mix options, near zero volatility, and much, much more. To unlock all these advantages, you must start with Enlist E3 soybeans. See what a better seed and herbicide system can bring to your fields at enlist.com. You've looked, now leap.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Crime Stoppers is offering a reward of up to $1,000 for information leading to the arrest of a man in connection with the July 24th incident in Statesville, North Carolina. 30-year-old Joshua Lynn Sylvester is charged with assault with intent to kill, causing serious injury, and felon in possession of a firearm. Sylvester is described as a black male, 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing 135 pounds. He's believed to be in the flu. Information on Sylvester's whereabouts is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-JAIL. U.S. Congressman John Moolenaar will present military honors to the families of 2 World War II veterans in a special ceremony today. The late Staff Sergeant Joseph Gregory Jr. served in the U.S. Navy and the Marine Corps from 1942 and 1945. His family will receive the Navy Good Conduct Medal and Asiatic Pacific Campaign Medal with a Bronze Service Star and World War II Victory Medal, the World War II Victory Medal, and others. The late Sergeant Henry Harkradar served in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 1946. His family will be presented with the Bronze Star, the Good Conduct Medal, the World War II Victory Medal, and others. Children Trust Michigan and Children's Services Agency will fund a new Family Resource Center initiative.
Families around the state will benefit from $1.9 million in funding to 6 locations around Michigan that will help prevent child abuse and neglect. Children Trust Michigan chose the pilot locations based on populations who experience overrepresentation in the child welfare system and high poverty rates. The 6 founding pilot sites are located in Keweenaw, Calhoun, Genesee, Kent, Macomb, and Washtenaw counties. Rob Mason, the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 989-752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Jonathan Dent.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. For today, any patchy fog to start gives way to a good deal of sunshine. We'll have highs in the lower 60s. Then for tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 38. For Tuesday, abundant sunshine, upper 60s for high temperatures. And into the day on Wednesday, at least some partial sunshine. We're headed up to a high of 72. For Thursday, mostly cloudy, high of 66. And then for your Friday, partly sunny, breezy and cooler, low 50s. For Saturday, reaching 54 degrees. I'm meteorologist Michael Carroll with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 41.
Now, The only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2, the Art Lewis Show, here on WSGW for a Monday morning. Open phones for this hour, whatever you'd like to chat about at 989-752-6111. We'd be happy to talk to you about it. There was an article in USA Today about student loans, when they're going to be forgiven, and what to know about debt relief applications. They are about to go out fairly soon here. And again, the parameters for forgiveness: people who earned $125,000 or less, or $250,000 for households in 2020 or 2021, are eligible for at least $10,000 in federal student loan debt forgiveness. Pell Grant recipients that usually go to low-income grads can receive up to $20,000 in relief. I have to scratch my head about the fact that a $250,000 household, $250,000 a year household, needs $10,000 in debt relief. Sometimes you wonder why they do what they do, how they do what they do. How do they come up with $125,000 a year income needs student loan debt relief for an individual, or $250,000 for a household? And the answer is they buy votes. And by the way, everybody does it. It's not just one party or the other, but just happens to be the party in power right now doing this. About 40 million borrowers are eligible for some kind of student debt. And about 20 million of them will have their entire debt canceled. So what do you need to do? Well, there's no date yet set for release of the application. It just has been said that it's going to be in October. And the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, said that we're trying to give relief to everyday Americans. I guess everyday Americans can earn up to $250,000 a year, which everyday Americans would love to earn. Last I looked, that was not the everyday average of income. So who knows when these forms are actually going to be available, and what it's going to take, and how long it's going to take to get it done. You would complete the application form. I guess you're also supposed to contact whoever services your loan, and then they will notify you when the relief payment has reached them. You complete and submit the application, and you can actually, according to what I see here, get relief for past student loan payments that were made during the pandemic that brought their balance below the relief they would be eligible to receive. So if you had $11,000 in debt before March 13th, 2020, and you paid it down to $9,000, you would receive a $1,000 refund. Federally subsidized loans, unsubsidized loans, plus loans, graduate plus loans are eligible. Private institution loans, just straight regular loans, are not, apparently. There have been a number of lawsuits claiming that the president overstepped his authority. And if any of them are awarded to the plaintiffs, it could put the whole plan in jeopardy. And the press secretary wouldn't say if there'd be additional changes to the program. She said it's unfortunate that some people in, as she put it, Republican states were making it more difficult to give a little bit of breathing room to working Americans. Yeah, maybe they just want accountability. Did you ever think of that? Anyhow, it's been estimated. The last figure I saw was something like $400 billion or something like that. It was a very huge amount of money. So anyway, the program is still not in place. The application form is not there yet, but it should be coming anytime soon. Maybe. Let's see what happens in the courts too. Number of other things happening. This is an interesting story. It's an interesting story for Democrats. Doesn't have much impact on Republicans. That progressives in the Democratic Party are hunting now for new, younger leaders in what's already being described as the post-Sanders-Warren era. So I'm scratching my head saying, well, last I heard they were still senators. How is it post-Sanders and post-Warren? They're still out there. But a Democratic strategist said that they've been looking for fresh blood for years, and he's tired of supporting dinosaurs. He said he reluctantly voted for Biden, but he wants younger blood in the party. Well, you have, some younger blood in these, in the young fours that are out there that are the real progressives, Ocasio-Cortez and the like. But the fact that Sanders and Warren are both up there in years has some in the party to look for younger people. Some of the names that come forth: Pete Buttigieg took voters by surprise in Iowa and New Hampshire when he was running for president. But it's interesting with Buttigieg. I'm not so sure that he would be the progressive that they're looking for. I don't think he's in the same camp as Ocasio-Cortez and that group. Gavin Newsom, another one. He's 54 years old, outspoken leader, already making noise like he wants to run for president. But it's not for me to say who they're going to look to run for president and to be the spokesman for the progressive side of the party. If indeed Sanders and Warren are has-beens in some corners of the party. Going to be interesting to see. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will be old enough to be president by Inauguration Day 2025, but she's not made too many moves in that direction, and I'm not sure that nationally, she may have a wing of the party sewn up pretty good, the progressive side of the party, but nationally, I'm not sure she could gather the support needed to win a national election. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, and then we're going to talk to Gene in Bay City right after these notes. We'll also have a word for you on football in our football buck splits.
Why do I fly out of MBS Airport? Because the stress-free experience on the ground makes for a more enjoyable experience up here.
Eagles Nest, this is Bravo. I'm going to do some barrel rolls and other cool stuff.
Whoa, what a dream. Even a business trip's exciting. And with services through Delta and United Airlines, you'll feel upgraded as soon as you walk through their doors. Book your flight today at mbsairport.org.
Some politicians drive me nuts. It's like the rules just don't apply to them.
Uh-oh.
Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Is she one of those politicians who just spends and spends, making inflation worse?
Yes, but it's even worse with Rivet. She voted herself a pay raise on her taxpayer-funded salary.
Unbelievable.
And she was hiking her own pay while raising rates and fees for people like us.
We already can't pay our bills, and she's just making it worse. Only politicians like Kristen McDonald Rivet can get away with a scheme like that.
Worst part is, now she wants a promotion. She's running for state senate. Imagine what kind of damage she'd do if we send her to Lansing.
I'd never vote for a politician like Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Higher prices for her. Say no to Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Paid for with regulated funds by the Senate Republican Campaign Committee, authorized by Annette Glenn for state senate.
If you're in a room with 4 other people, chances are one of you has already been an identity theft victim. 1 in 5. Watching your accounts and credit isn't enough. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. Nobody can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% on their first year with promo code Beck at LifeLock.com. 25% off your first year.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report. Stocks opening higher.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
Their job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's time to play the WSGW Football Buck Splits contest presented by Ben and Roof Max. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $2,000 by entering this football word online at WSGW.com. The word is tackle, T-A-C-K-L-E, tackle. It's an Alpha Media Company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. The Football Buck Splits contest presented by Ben and Roof Max on WSGW. All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and time to go back to our phones. Gene is in Bay City. Gene, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I got 2 things today. I'm 82. When I was in my 20s and 30s talking about getting more into politics, my decision in my 20s and 30s, after years and years of experience, right now there are a lot of things I would do just the opposite. Putting these really, really young people in these powerful offices, I think, is a mistake sometimes.
Well, I'm in your camp. I believe you can't replace experience. I do believe this, though, and see what you feel about this, Gene. I do think the young folks have to be included in the parties because they do come with fresh sets of eyes and fresh ideas.
Right.
Not to be discounted, but there is nothing like experience. I do believe that experience is required, which is why I've never been a favor of term limits, particularly as tight as it is in Michigan. I guess if I have to live with term limits, the proposal on the ballot to expand it to 12 and 12 is better than nothing. But I believe in experience. I absolutely do.
Thank you. The other thing I wanted to talk about on the news this weekend, at the border going over, a lot of times in the past, if a vehicle had a U.S. license plate and the driver was born in the U.S. and has a current U.S. driver's license, a lot of times they were waving those people through. Now they've been checking more of them, and they're finding out that's where a lot of these drugs are getting into the country.
You're talking about
There's
which
so much
money
money
Which
in drugs.
which
that
border? Southern border is what you're talking about?
The Mexican
Okay,
border.
okay, yeah, all right. I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. And anyway, that's what they were saying. That's where they're finding the fentanyl and a lot of these other drugs is from U.S. citizens bringing them in. I mean, it's
Some
so
of it.
much money. It's such a temptation to
Yeah, some of it, yes, but that's, I mean, let's be honest. In the drug world, it's not all foreigners that are involved in the drug world. There's a lot of people in this country, citizens of this country, who are involved in drugs. It's too bad. It's unfortunate.
You stop and think these people swimming across the river, they on their back pretty much. I mean, it's pretty hard for them to be smuggling
Well,
drugs.
they're not the only ones, though. I mean, and there's a lot of people getting across we don't even catch.
Right.
So
the other thing I kind of wanted to point out is we've got that tendency to look at the glass half empty, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Right now, they're begging for truck drivers to get these ships emptied out. We got this big problem with the supply chain, and that's contributing to the inflation so much. And, maybe we should look at it from the other angle, that maybe the glass isn't half empty, maybe it's half full. Maybe having all these immigrants coming here is a blessing, and we just don't realize it. God works in mysterious ways, and I think people need to think of things on the positive side. There's good and bad and everything, and always being negative is not good.
Well, here's the problem with it. The problem is you don't know who's crossing the border. We need an immigration policy in this country that makes sense.
Right.
Nobody's against immigrants because this country was built by immigrants. However, having said that,
you aren't, but there are some people that are.
well, of course there are. There's people that disagree on everything. I'm just offering up my opinion, and my opinion is we need a sound immigration policy that accounts for those who legitimately should seek asylum and need to seek asylum, that those who want to be in this country, that provide us with something positive for our country. Don't have a problem with that, but I do have a problem with not having a sealed border, because if you don't have a border, you don't have a country.
Right. I agree with you. But I wish people would stop being so negative. This is a wonderful country, and people should have more faith in the future.
All right. Good enough.
Thank you for
Thanks,
listening.
Gene.
God bless.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. And Carl is in Saginaw. We'll say good morning to Carl.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning.
I'd like to talk about the Republican Party for a minute.
Sure.
A number of weeks ago, there was a discussion, are Republicans in a cult? And I don't think that all Republicans are in a cult. However, if at this point you believe Donald Trump won the election 2 years ago, I would say those people are in a cult. They believe whatever Trump says, and it doesn't matter, what the facts are or the evidence is. It's a personality cult. That's what it is.
That may be, from a technical word standpoint, that may be true. But I'm not disagreeing, because I do think that in my world, those people that believe the election was stolen, I think have been proven wrong. I don't believe it. I'm not into the conspiracy theories. Call it a cult, call it what you want. Doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. There are those people on the other side that look at the very, very far left progressive side of the Democrat Party and think that's a cult. So you can put words to everything. You can put titles and names to everything. It doesn't change anything, though.
Yeah, but when you have about half of the Republican voters believing that the election was stolen, and just believing, Art, you had a caller who started out, Donald Trump is not a vengeful person.
Yeah.
And then you corrected her, but then she comes back and says, well, okay, well, he has a right to be vengeful. So it doesn't really matter, what the facts are or what the truth is. These people are they are behind Trump 110%.
That may be, but let's understand they have a right to do that. Whether you agree with them or disagree with them, whether you think they're totally wrong and screwed up, that's fine. But they have a right to believe it. They have a right to say it. So does he. And you judge him by his words. You judge anybody by their words and their actions. But I never talk about the rights to do it because that right is implicit.
Yes, but in this country we have courts, and the court that Biden won the election.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you can. That does not mean you can't disagree with them. Now you have to follow them, but it doesn't mean you can't disagree with them.
You can disagree with it, but
exactly.
You can't say that it's not true.
Sure you can. You could say what you want. You could say it all you want. Nobody has to believe you.
Can you say the Supreme Court did not overturn Roe if that's what you believe?
No, you can't. No, because that's no. Come on now, Carl. That's what we're talking about here. You said you can't say you don't believe it. Well, yes, you can. And there are probably people who don't believe the court should have overturned Roe, and they're willing to speak out about it. It did happen, and so did it happen that 62 courts turned down challenges to the election. It doesn't mean people can be happy about it. Doesn't mean they have to be. Doesn't mean they have to agree with it. It means they can think what they want to think.
No, they can think that they don't like Biden,
and they can say it.
Think that, but they can't say that Trump won the election.
They can say it all they want. They can't. No.
Well, it's a lie.
But so are you telling me then? Are you telling me? Just a minute, Carl. Are you telling me you don't have the right to lie?
Well,
it's free speech, isn't it?
Lies all the time.
It's free speech, isn't it?
You have the right to lie.
Okay, it's free speech. There you go. It's free speech.
That's what they're.
Maybe, but it's free speech. That's all I'm pointing out. I'm pointing out that we don't have the right to tell them they can't think what they want to think and say what they want to say. That's the American way. You don't have to agree with it, and they're not guaranteed an audience. Free speech does not guarantee you an audience. It only guarantees you the right to say it. So
if you don't believe in the court system, then it seems to me you don't believe in America. If you're not going to accept what the court says,
that certainly is an opinion.
In America.
That certainly is an opinion, and you have an absolute right to it. And I might agree with you, but it's still an opinion.
Yeah, well,
which is what it's all about. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just what it's all about. It's opinion. That's what we're doing here. This show is opinion.
So Trump has the right to say that Mitch McConnell has a death sentence hanging over him.
He has the right. He has the right to say it, and you have the right to judge him on it.
Yes. Well, I hope everybody judges him on that.
And there you go. There you go. You've cut to the chase.
Okay.
All right, Carl. Hey, glad to have you back. Thanks, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye now. We'll be back after these notes on the Art Lewis Show. Lines open for you.
For almost 20 years, Line-X has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Line-X have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because the rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
From research to results, Rank Seed is rooted in technology. It starts with good genetics, and Rank Seed evaluates more than 80,000 data points of breeding material. By planting plots throughout the Midwest and Great Plains, we expose our genetics to a wide range of environments. Best varieties. We then utilize the latest technologies, including robotics and color sorters, to ensure the highest germination and the best quality of seed, tirelessly striving to better serve our customers. Rank Seed. Results since 1846.
If you're in a room with 4 other people, chances are one of you has already been an identity theft victim. 1 in 5. Watching your accounts and credit isn't enough. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. Nobody can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% on their first year with .com. Promo code BACK, save 25% off your first year.
At EasyCater, food for work is our thing. It's literally all we've done for 15 years. Whether you need to feed a meeting or the whole company, we're here to make sure the food is professionally delivered, on time, as ordered, and all within your budget. No wonder we get orders from 93% of Fortune 500 companies. Food for work is what we do, and no one knows it better. Order 24/7 from over 95,000 restaurants on EasyCater.com. EasyCater, food for work. That's our thing.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you cylinders.
The WSGW Morning Team Show. WSGW online poll, the midterm election prediction. Political experts, pundits, analysts, pollsters trying to figure out who's going to control Congress come January 2023. There are polls out that show that 2 in 3 registered voters see this election as the most important than past midterm campaign elections have been. The poll question is simple. What party do you predict will control Congress come January 2023? Democrats to control both the House and Senate, Republicans to control both the House and Senate. Democrats the House, Republicans the Senate, or Republicans the House, Democrats the Senate. Make your prediction. Remember, this is a prediction poll. It's not how you're going to vote. It's kind of like when Pat does his perfect pigskin prognostications. You want the Lions to win every week, and yet you don't pick the Lions every week. That's true.
Head to WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and make your vote that way.
The Morning Team is 5:30 till 9 on WSGW. Michigan football is on WSGW.
Cutting inside is Ronnie Bell to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Ronnie Bell. Back to pass. Looking. Here comes the Michigan rush, and they'll get to him. The Wolverines, Mike Morris, his team leading 3rd sack of the season. J.J. McCarthy, back to pass. Here comes a blitz, rolling to his right. He's going to fire back in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Donovan Edwards.
The 4th-ranked Michigan Wolverines improved to 5-0 on the year after their hard-fought victory at Iowa. The Wolverines have another Big Ten road battle ahead of them when they visit the Indiana Hoosiers this Saturday, with pregame coverage beginning at 11 a.m. on 790 News Radio WSGW. Michigan football is brought to you by North Bloomfield Properties, Wolf Files Ace Hardware in Saginaw, Zimmelmatic Irrigation Solutions, Lingle Equipment Company, and Schaefer and Beerline Ram Truck in Frankenmuth. It's Michigan at Indiana, live Saturday morning at 11 on 790 News Radio
Your home for Michigan Wolverines football is WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, I went to the world's tiniest wind turbine exhibit. Honestly, not a big fan.
Hey-o! Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. From the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. You are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and Shirley is in Saginaw. So let's go chat with Shirley this morning. Hi, Shirley.
Hi, how are you doing, Art?
Good.
I just wanted to comment on Biden can call the Republicans ultra mega. They can call us deployed. They can call us every name in the book, semi-fascist. But if the Republicans don't take over the Congress and the Senate in the fall, we're not going to have much of a country left when the Democrats are done with it, arresting innocent people and putting them behind bars for absolutely no reason.
Who are the innocent people?
It's pretty scary.
Who are the innocent people?
Well, this last fellow with all the 7 children, he was exonerated in the spring, and they went after him anyway. I don't understand it.
I'm not familiar with it.
No sense.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
yeah,
it's been on Fox News. It's been on several different channels, but it happened. He had protested abortions, and his 12-year-old son was with him. The guy come out of the building, started hollering with him, pushing his little boy, and the local government, it was over. It was all over, but the feds had to come in. Guns, 20 feds. Guns are blasting, wanting to come in.
Well, not blasting.
Make a scene.
No, blasting means they were shooting him. They weren't shooting him.
Yeah, well, in my view, it was horrible.
Well, yeah, but this is if you want to. If you want to offer an opinion, that is fine, but be careful how you say it, because when you say they came in with their guns blasting, you're indicating they were shooting the place up. Well, they never fired a shot, did they?
No, but
no. Well, okay then. So they came out with their guns. They came out with their guns drawn.
Okay, you win.
That's different.
I understand it. I said it wrong. I apologize.
As
far as I'm concerned, somebody that they do this to, why would they go into Mar-a-Lago when Trump was going to give them anything they want? 18 months, things were hunky-dory. All of a sudden, they went in 35.
Well, the answer there is they do not want Trump to run.
Evidence.
They don't want Trump to run for anything. That's the bottom line. That's what all those hearings have been about.
These Democrats, but he is going to run and he is going to win because he won before and he will win again.
All right.
And if he doesn't, goodbye, America.
All right, Shirley. Appreciate the call. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to me.
You bet. Take care.
Bye.
Bye now. And Al is in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur.
Morning.
Hey, I got to agree with Shirley there. If Trump runs and he has a legitimate way to run, a pathway forward, he would clobber the hell out of them. People are all the stuff that Biden screwed up, the inflation, the supply chain. We got more deaths under COVID under Biden than we had with Trump. The whole time Trump was there, Biden's exceeded that in the last, year. He's got more COVID deaths on him than
well, he had a lot more time, though, too.
He had less time in office.
No.
Biden just barely covered the first year, and he had a higher death toll.
Well, yeah, because, well, never mind. I mean, we could go round and round on that forever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. I hear you. Hey, I was going back through my audio files the other day. I kind of screwed something up on the computer, and I had to move some files around. I ran across one of your audio clips that I recorded. I have these digital radios that record radio broadcasts digitally and store them on a memory card. And it was a positive outlook with every recession. The power campaign you guys ran, I don't know if you remember that or not, but I had an audio clip. I shared it on Facebook.
Oh, that was the it's going to be okay. Igbok. That was what that was, the button we had for years.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Igbok.
the button campaign,
Yep.
right.
Yep,
Yeah.
Igbok.
Anyhow, I was playing that and listening to it. I have the whole thing with Dennis Miller on there. I recorded the whole show because the national recognition got to Dennis Miller.
Yep,
and
yep,
I thought
it
that
sure
was pretty
did.
interesting. Well, I have an audio clip of that.
Yeah.
So
All
I'm
right.
sure you guys got it in the files.
I don't know if we do or not, to tell you the truth. It's
Yeah.
been so long.
But
anyhow,
back to Carl's thing. People don't like Trump. Okay, they start making things up and saying things that Trump said and take things out of context. We got all kinds of lies coming out of the Democratic Party and Biden, and he's keep telling us we're not in a recession, and all the rest of the lies that we're hearing from Biden.
and the border's sealed.
Yeah. We keep hearing
Yeah,
the
the border's secure.
I keep hearing that out of the White House. Everybody out of the White House is saying the border's
Yeah.
secure. Really?
Yeah.
We're
Well.
one line right after another out of this outfit.
Unfortunately, that's politics today. Both sides play the game very
Biden
well.
can't tell the truth to save his life.
Yeah.
And worse yet, he can't hardly put sentences together half of the time. I don't know what they dope him up on to get him to talk.
No, let's not get carried away.
8
You know-
or 10 minutes, but they must drug him.
Oh,
on
come on now, Al. Now you're getting carried away.
They must do it.
No,
My
they
dad
must
went
not
through
do
this.
it.
My dad went through this.
So,
He had
all right.
dementia, and he went through this. He had lucid times during the day where he was great.
Yep. Okay.
And other times of the day, he was just like Biden.
All right. Good enough.
Have a good morning.
You
there,
too.
sir. Thank you very
Take care.
much.
Bye-bye now.
Yep. Bye now.
Marcellus, hang on. We'll get to you next.
Get more for your Medicare dollar in Michigan with a $0 premium Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With the United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan, it's easier than ever to get more for your Medicare dollar, including better than ever dental, vision, over-the-counter, and prescription drug coverage. Take advantage. Call United Healthcare today at 586-842-3770. That's 586-842-3770. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan or area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins, everything in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
News coverage.
Hurricane Ian,
the storm we have all feared.
a monster hurricane.
As you warm the climate, you should see more of the very high category storms.
News.
Dangerous signal from Putin.
We've seen this nuclear threat.
A spacecraft ramming into an asteroid.
300 Americans will be poisoned today and die because of fentanyl.
News coverage. Around the clock.
The commitment to America.
Putin's illegal annexation of parts of Ukraine.
News on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and back to our phones. Marcellus is in Saginaw. Marcellus, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How you doing this morning?
We're doing well. Hope you are.
I'm good. I just wanted to call in right quick because I was talking to some people this weekend, and I was telling them about listening to your show because I try to get people to listen to your show because I'm a diehard Democrat.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But they're kind of surprised that I listen to your show, and I tell them the one reason I listen to your show is because of you, because you said this morning about people are entitled to their opinion, and I learned from your show listen to other people's opinion. I don't agree with probably the majority of them, but I listen, and they you do get some points from them. But I like the way you keep people focused. And if somebody say something that's outrageous or crazy, you'll put them in check. And you don't hear that from MSNBC, Fox News, or any of those other stations out there. They stay focused on, if I'm a Democrat, they keep me focused as a Democrat. Fox, if you're a Republican, they keep you focused as a Republican. You don't get the whole picture. So I appreciate your show. I appreciate you because you keep people sort of focused. Even though you don't change it, you don't get them, you don't try to change their mind, but you keep them focused and you help people like me to think.
Well,
so I just wanted to call in and say I appreciate that.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the fact that you listen. And secondly, that you're brave enough to tell your friends about it. But this is me. People have criticized me because either I don't challenge somebody enough or I do challenge somebody too much. And, when I'm criticized by the right and the left, then I think I'm doing my job.
You're doing your job.
And so, and I don't take that lightly. I mean, that's just the way I view it. I'll tell you, in an acceptance speech I had to give back in August for the Hall of Fame thing that I got inducted into, my closing line was that radio as a legacy media, and particularly talk shows, can be, and I'm paraphrasing what I said now because I don't have it in front of me, but they can be tools of division, or they can be used as tools of, I forgot the words I used, not unification, but you know what I mean. You can be divisive, or you can be neutral and trying to unite. I'm never going to unite Democrats and Republicans from the far left and the far right. I know that. But I do think that we have to listen to each other and we have to talk to each other. And there's not a lot of that going on today. So there you go.
I appreciate you. You just keep doing. I know you're gonna keep doing what you're doing, and I'm gonna keep listening because I just like what you do. After your show. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried to go all the way to Tom Sullivan, but I can't get the guys in between. So I'm about through there.
That's what makes a horse race, though. You know, we can't appeal to everybody, and they don't appeal to everybody either. So, but I appreciate the fact you're there, my friend.
Thank you, and keep on doing what you're doing.
Thanks, Marcellus. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye-bye now.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, that's going to wrap it for calls. We'll take a last break and then come back and close out this edition of the Art Lewis Show.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County Road Commissioner. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know working people in Bay County have always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. I'm a proud union member, business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do a job. Vote Hilliker. Paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been... It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
I'm Tamron Hall. Doesn't your family deserve the best? Eggland's best eggs. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Give you and your family more delicious farm fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat. These are no ordinary times, so why choose an ordinary egg? Only Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
If you're in a room with 4 other people, chances are one of you has already been an identity theft victim. 1 in 5. Watching your accounts and credit isn't enough. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. Nobody can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% on their first year with promo code BECK. Save 25% off your first year.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for a start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. To find out more, plan on attending a Zoom meeting with Colette Vacations Ed McKenna on October 5th at 3:30 p.m. Send me an email to receive the Zoom link. Send your request to artlewis@wsgw.com. If you can't make the Zoom meeting, send your address and I'll forward a brochure to you. Send now to artlewis@wsgw.com. Alaska is calling.
Trying to find when and where you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SDSU football on WSGW? Just click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com for complete game time listings. That's WSGW.com.
All right, that'll wrap up the Art Lewis Show for this Monday. I'm off tomorrow, but I'll be back with you on Wednesday, and we'll have lots more for you. I think Larry Rodarte is filling in for me tomorrow. Meantime, stick around for Focus. We'll find out what's happening in Auburn with Robin from Auburn Outreach. For that, the news, and after that, we'll be right back with Focus.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
The
CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Biden off to Puerto Rico to check on damage from Hurricane Fiona.
We're trying like hell to catch up from the last hurricane.
And later this week, he'll go to Southwest Florida, where damage from Hurricane Ian is extensive and emotions are frayed.
I had a lot of wonderful memories with people I love, and I keep reminding myself these are all things.
The known death toll from the storm is 86. CBS's Chris Van Cleve is in Fort Myers.
When you think about rebuilding, best case scenario, you're taking it down to the studs, completely starting over. Recovery. This is months or longer before they could be back in these homes. And then the other question is if the county will let them just renovate, and because these were the current building codes, you wouldn't build a home like this anymore.
Florida Emergency Management Director Kevin Guthrie knows for tens of thousands of people, the big issue is getting the power back.
That is a goal that they are trying to hit, to have all customers that can receive power by Sunday of this week. This does not include those areas catastrophically hit where there is absolutely no infrastructure, no homes, and so on.
With police in Stockton, California, fatal shooting since July could be the work of a serial killer. Many residents are worried.
Who's doing the killing? I just came out here, talked to my neighbors. They were discussing the problem. But everybody's staying in. I mean, there's a lot of children.
The victims have all been adult men. After reviewing surveillance footage, detectives have located and identified a person of interest. First day of its new term, the Supreme Court has agreed to hear a challenge to federal protections for internet and social media companies, freeing them of responsibility for content posted by users. And it declined to hear a challenge to a federal ban on gun bump stocks. CBS's Matt Piper has more on what's ahead.
One for new Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first black woman to serve on the court, went right in on the case at hand about a couple in Idaho who wanted to build on wetlands.
Isn't the issue what Congress would have intended?
This term is expected to bring another round of decisions on hot-button, ideologically charged issues like LGBTQ plus discrimination, voting rights, and affirmative action. Already on the docket is a challenge to race-conscious admissions policies at selective universities.
The Securities and Exchange Commission's been keeping up with Kim Kardashian. It says she will pay $1.26 million to settle charges she promoted a cryptocurrency on Instagram without disclosing she'd been paid big for more than 600 points. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
Carl came in on Monday upset because his truck needed more repairs. I completely his livelihood. He was ready for something new. So I took him in my office right away and I was able to approve him for an auto loan. He was very happy to be able to leave with that check in his hand to go pick up his vehicle. He even came back a few hours later just to thank me and show me his new truck. I love being able to turn around someone's day.
Knowing members by name, going the extra mile to help them save money, understanding when they really need help. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-22. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to up and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.73% APR with auto pay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money at a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get a discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 5.73% APR to 19.99% APR and include a 0.5% auto pay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 55 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Jonathan Dent. A 16-year-old Bridgeport Township student was arrested with a stabbing incident that occurred on September 22nd at Bridgeport High School. An 18-year-old is accused of stabbing or cutting two 17-year-old students. Police investigating the incident say that the 16-year-old dropped a backpack and fled the scene. A firearm was found inside the backpack. The 16-year-old student was located and is being held at the Saginaw County Juvenile Center. The suspect has not been identified. When it comes to riches in Michigan, who's the wealthiest of them all? Michigan News Network's Sandra McNeil reports.
Leelanau County is the top of the list of the state's wealthiest counties. That's according to a new study by Smart Asset. The study compared local per capita values and the amount of investment income being generated by the residents. Leelanau County checked in at number one with a per capita income of over $73,000 and a median home value of nearly $339,000. Oakland County, number two. While the per capita income is a little more at $77,000, the houses are worth a little less, along with a smaller investment income. Washington, Traverse counties round out the top five wealthiest.
Disability Network of Mid-Michigan, or DNMM, has announced its participation in National Disability Employment Awareness Month, an annual awareness campaign that takes place each October. The purpose of National Disability Employment Awareness Month is to educate about disability employment issues and celebrate the many and varied contributions of America's workers with disabilities. This year's theme is Disability, Part of the Equity Equation. Throughout October, DNMM will be engaging in a variety of online activities promoting disability employment and cultural issues. These include events October 5th, 12th, and 26th from noon to 1 o'clock, and October 27th at 7 p.m. To learn more, visit dnmm.org. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Why do I fly out of MBS Airport? Because the stress-free experience on the ground makes for a more enjoyable experience up here.
Eagle Test, this is Bravo. I'm going to do some barrel rolls and other cool stuff.
Oh, what a dream. Even a business trip's exciting. And with services through Delta and United Airlines, you'll feel upgraded as soon as you walk through their doors. Book your flight today at mbsairport.org.
How did hiring the right person become so difficult? Well, it doesn't have to be. Alpha Digital already has targeted databases built to very qualified candidates that are just looking for the right opportunity. That allows you to target exactly who you're trying to reach with a budget that is customized just for you. Learn about all the possibilities by going to alphamediadigital.com today. Find your next star employee with alphamediadigital.com.
WSG 08, the weather forecast is coming up. Detroit police say officers fatally shot a man early Sunday as they were responding to a call about a knife-wielding man who was having a mental health crisis. Police Chief James White says officers responded about 9 a.m. to a 911 call about a man armed with a knife who was in mental distress and inside an apartment on the city's west side. After officers found the man, White says that they were met with resistance and tried unsuccessfully to subdue him with a stun gun before they opened. Says police were still gathering information about the incident and he had few details to offer. Michigan continues to strive to be a big player in the space race. The 5th annual North American Space Summit is being held in Traverse City today and tomorrow. Executive Director of the Michigan Aerospace Manufacturers Association, Gavin Brown, says that they want ideas and technology continue to include Michigan.
It's our bring people together to network so that the talent in the space industry continues to recognize not only Michigan, but to have an annual presence with each other.
Brown says that talent coming out of college can find a lot of opportunities in Michigan that have space components in autonomous car technology, space tooling, communications, and the medical field. Consumers Energy has upgraded an important part of its natural gas distribution system. 5 new compressors have been installed in the Freedom Compressors Saginaw County as part of Consumers' 10-year, $11 billion natural gas delivery plan to upgrade its system by 2031. The new units feature V12 engines, each capable of generating more than 3,700 horsepower, and will replace 13 older units dating back to the 1940s. The energy company says that with colder temperatures setting in, the upgraded compressor units will help them make the gas system cleaner, safer, and more. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 989-752-0790. It's 1110. I'm Jonathan Dent.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology. For today, any patchy fog to start gives way to a good deal of sunshine. We'll have highs in the lower 60s. Then for tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 38. For Tuesday, abundant sunshine, upper 60s for high temperatures. And into the day on Wednesday, at least some partial sunshine. We're headed up to a high of 72. For Thursday, mostly cloudy with 66. And then for your Friday, partly sunny, breezy and cooler, low 50s. For Saturday, reaching 54 degrees. I'm meteorologist Michael Caro with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently 47 degrees.
Now, it's time to focus as WSG. The places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. You can find out about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. Today, we head to Auburn and find out what's happening, get an update from Robin on what's happening in Auburn. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing fine. So as I start this conversation with you all the time, what's new in Auburn these days?
Well, this Saturday, I'm excited. As you know, I'm always excited about Auburn.
You are.
I'm excited to let you know that it is our 3rd annual Halloween Days. You can get all of your early holiday shopping done. It takes place in Auburn Park, right off US 10 and 9 Mile Road. Free admission and free parking.
Wow.
Over 60 vendors. They are underneath a large and small pavilion and out on the ground. We also have TNT Authentic Mexican going to be there with burritos, tacos, nachos, walking tacos. And Saudi Midland, who has all kinds of Chinese fare, rangoons, egg rolls, dumplings, chicken wings, going to be some. We also have Frank and Jude there to do music during the day. So it's just a really fun family day to get some shopping done, hang out at the park, walk our walking path, check it out because next year it's going to be all brand new.
And tell everybody again where this park is.
We are located right in Auburn, off US 10 and 9 Mile, or you can access us from Midland Road and then just head down on Auburn Road, which is also called 9 Mile, towards our park. Like I said, free admission, free parking. We're open from 10 until 3, so we're there all day. You can come down, eat, shop, have fun with the kids.
And does that park have a name?
It is. It's called Auburn City Park.
Auburn, oh, that's simple enough. There are other parks. There are other parks in Auburn, though, aren't there?
Well, we do have our little pocket park at the corner, but very excited as well about the Range Multi-Use Park. We are just finishing up putting the 18-hole disc golf course in place. They were pouring cement this week. I am super excited to tell you that that's going to be opening very, very soon within the next couple of weeks. That is located 2 miles north on Auburn Road, also called 9 Mile. On Lagoon Drive, you'll see a nice gravel parking lot right. going to be open this winter as well. We just installed a new sledding hill, and there are also trails for cross-country skiing and snowshoeing as well.
Something else in Auburn, and I didn't know you had this until I looked on the Auburn site. You have a shooting range.
We do, and that's actually on the, I believe, northernmost end of this range property. That property is a 25-acre parcel that was donated to the city. The shooting range has been there for quite a long time. And then we have, of course, put up many safety measures to separate each part of that park. And actually, all of our local law enforcement uses our shooting range for training.
Yeah,
so,
and I noticed there are public dates available. I think the next ones are the 22nd and 29th of this month.
Yes. And there is a rifle range and a handgun range. And then there's also an area for bow practice. So it's a full service shooting range.
Now, to use any of these facilities, do you have to be an Auburn resident?
You do not. We have our parks, our public parks.
So anybody can come and enjoy the benefits of what's going on in Auburn.
Yes, and I mean, that's part of the reason we did receive a large grant from the Bay Area Community Foundation Healthy Living Fund to put the range in place, because it would be a multi-use park. And it is also the only disc golf park in Bay County. So Bay County's been trying to work on getting a disc golf range somewhere in the county. And we had the room for it and decided that we would create it right there in Auburn.
Any notion as to when it will actually open?
And this is my guess. I'm guessing it's going to be in the next couple of weeks. So please just stay in touch with us via our new website, which is www.auburnmi.gov. We will put a notice up right there on the homepage letting you know that it's open. That is also free to use. You can come there and check us out. We're super, super excited about that disc golf range. So that is coming very soon. Like I said, the cement was just poured, so we're just waiting for that and to place the rest of the basket.
And hopefully get it done in time that the weather will allow some games to be played.
Yes, and if not, if the snow activities out there as well.
All right.
Like I said, we are year round.
Robin, hang on. I got to take a break, and then we will be back. We're talking to Robin about Auburn and the things happening in that community.
Welcome to a Johnny Mathis Christmas.
Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening?
Saturday, December 3rd at Soaring Eagle Casino. Johnny Mathis.
Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride.
Holiday classics and his timeless hits.
Chances are.
Tickets for the Johnny Mathis Christmas concert start at $44. At the box office or etix.com. Johnny Mathis performing his legendary pop hits.
It's wonderful, wonderful.
And unforgettable holiday classics.
It's the most wonderful time.
Johnny Mathis with a full orchestra, December 3rd at Soaring Eagle Casino.
I get misty the moment you're near.
Spend part of your holidays with a legend. Tickets for a Johnny Mathis Christmas started. Run sealed out. Johnny Mathis, Saturday, December 3rd at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Some politicians drive me nuts. It's like the rules just don't apply to them.
Uh-oh, what now?
It's that Kristen McDonald rivet.
Is she one of those politicians who just spends and spends, making inflation worse?
Yes, but it's even worse with rivet. She voted herself a pay raise on her taxpayer-funded salary. And she was hiking her own pay while raising rates and fees for people like us.
We already can't pay our bills, and she's just making it worse. Only politicians like Kristen McDonald Rivet can get away with a scheme like that.
Worst part is, now she wants a promotion. She's running for state senate. Imagine what kind of damage she'd do if we send her to Lansing.
I'd never vote for a politician like Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Higher prices for us, higher salary for her. Say no to Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Paid for with regulated funds by the Senate Republican campaign. Annette Glenn for State Senate.
It's time to play the WSGW Football Bucks Blitz contest presented by Ben and Roofmax. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $2,000 by entering this football word online at WSGW.com. And the word this hour is interception, INTERCEPTION, interception. Alpha Media Company-wide contest must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. The Football Bucks Blitz contest presented by Ben and Roofmax on WSGW.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, we're back here on WSGW, and we're talking to Robin in Auburn about all of the activities and things happening in Auburn. And it, for a little community, it's a busy place, isn't it, Robin?
It really is. We actually have our last concert of the year coming up on October 15th. It is the Auburn Fall Jam. That is at the AIM property, which is adjacent to Auburn Park. It's right next door. So they're presenting Jared Neiman, country singer, also Steve Armstrong and the 25 Cent Beer Band, and Waylon Hanau. So the tickets are available at www.kensheltonpromotions.com. And that's going to be, again, Saturday, October 15th, and the gates open at 5 p.m.
Let's talk about some other activities in Auburn we don't often mention. For example, and even though the season is kind of winding down, you have a couple of ball diamonds, don't you?
We do. And we actually get a lot of help from the Monroe Township Recreation Department. Those folks help us. And then also our friends at Artisans Landscaping. They put in a lot of volunteer time helping keep those diamonds manicured. They're absolutely beautiful. And we also got a grant this year for some new fencing. So we're making sure that we keep it safe out there at Auburn City Park.
How about Kids Zone? Tell us about that.
Yeah, we do. And actually, that's our next big project that's planning. We do have a very nice playscape. Is aging, as many of the wooden playscapes have in our area. I mean, we get a lot of inclement weather here in Michigan. So we are actually researching some grant opportunities for a brand new playscape that will be weather resistant. It'll have a rubber floor, so it's much safer, and will also include a workout area for adults and seniors that and physical therapy kind of thing. So putting a new playscape in the next few years. So the one that we have now, we keep that one up and kids can come out and play, families. I actually go out there with my little granddaughter and we have a lot of fun.
I have to ask about this because this is a growing sport. We hear a lot about pickleball. Do you have anything in Auburn that would allow for pickleball?
Yes, actually, that takes place under our large pavilion. I believe they meet on Wednesday nights and play there. They've got 2 courts, very nicely lighted in the evening. So we have some avid pickleball players in Auburn. Pickleball, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Pickleball players seem to be avid everywhere. It's quite a growing sport. All right, last question. I want to talk about the pond at the park for a minute because that's a pretty good hunk of water. Are there fish in there?
There are fish in there. We do have a catch and release program. And then we also had the ADA picnic there the last 2 years, and they did a really great service. One of the kayak outfits in Midland came out that help people with disabilities be able to come out and kayak at our pond because it is very shallow and safe. And so we had some kayakers out there, and they actually did some really great drone footage with their drones. It was pretty amazing.
Well, let's conclude by reminding everybody again where they can get more information.
You can visit us on the web at www.auburnmi.gov. You can get in touch with me at auburnfm@gmail.com. Our farm market for the season, but I am already looking for some new vendors for next year.
All right. Well, and you got the final one coming up, so have a great time with it.
Yes, come out to Halloween days.
All right. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Robin.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye now. Robin with Auburn, and we thank her very much for joining us. We thank you too. We'll be back, and we'll move on to the market report from Baird & Company.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take